All right, everybody. So we're back for another Dispute Fox group call. Um, we have our guest speaker here. Hey, uh, from Level Up Score. I'm gonna let her introduce herself in a minute, but I just want to just go over some quick kind of housekeeping calls, I should say. Is that we want to ask you guys to kind of hold all your questions to the end. If you join our meetings before, you know that I typically give about 40 to 45-minute presentation, and then we hold the questions to the end. So if you do have questions while she's going through her presentation, just drop them in a chat if you think you're going to forget, and we'll make sure that we come back to them towards the end. The meetings are being recorded. After the meetings, I'll always upload them to the group and to the YouTube channel so you guys can circle back and catch the replay. And please just keep yourself muted so that it's not any disruptions on the call. All right. I'm handing on over to you.
Yay. Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia Ault. I'm the founder of Level Up Score. I'm so excited to be here today to introduce Level Up Score to all of you. But I also would love to just be here to answer any questions. I am a growth building coach, not just for credit repair companies, just in general of building businesses. So if you do have any questions about that related to that, I'm here to help you with that. And I am going to share with you my affiliate marketing guide. If you guys want to send me an email, so I'm going to post my email in the chat. And I have this guide just called the Affiliate Marketing Guide. I do a lot of affiliate marketing. It's one of the big ways that I make money off of my credit repair business. And it's something that you can link into Level Up Score. I'll talk about that of your affiliate stuff that you may already have some, and some of them you might not have. So I just make sure with my affiliate marketing guide that you have everything that you want and need. And I'll show you with Level Up Score how I make a lot of money off affiliate marketing. But the best thing about Level Up Score is really that I get a plan for my clients. So I'm adding a great value to my clients. And guys, we know FICO 10T is getting ready to come out. Vantage 4.0 is getting ready to come out. They are different animals than what we've been used to as credit experts. And so I want you to know as we look at credit Level Up Score that today we're going to see how it's working for our current models for the different goals. So we'll go over that. But I want you to know that Level Up Score is already on the forefront of being able to read and analyze the FICO 10T and the Vantage 4.0. So this is going to be huge for a lot of credit repair companies if you don't have the time to sit down and learn all these intricate, complex details of the new models that are coming out. You literally can run a report through Level Up Score and it will give you the answer. Okay, so you can use it even as your own training on these new models. All right, you want me to show it to them?
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
and you use it already yourself. So
Yes, I have. So it was this perfect time. I have added a couple of folks in there.
awesome.
I love it. I use it. And I'll talk a little bit soon. Like once you go over it, I'll talk to you guys about how you can use it and integrate this with the Spree Fox. But yeah, I definitely pair it up during my consultations, and I also use it to pair it up with the monthly progress reports.
Yeah. So yeah, and I'll talk about that too, about consultations you can use it for, but you can also use it just for your monthly action plans. I do want to point to the chat feature. Obviously, I did put my email address in there, but up at the top, you will see a link to Level Up Score. So if you find that you guys would like to have your own free demo account to check it out yourself on one of your clients, you can click on that link and you can sign up for a demo account. It's completely free. So it's there for you to test out and create your white label because it is white labeled too. And then you can kind of just check and see how it might work for you and your organization. But I'll share some ideas of different organizations that have worked with Level Up Score for some time now and how they're using it. So if you were to click on that link in the chat, it's going to take you to our website where you would sign up for your free demo account. Once you sign up for your free demo account, then you'll see this screen. This is our dashboard page, okay? So the dashboard page just lets you know like new action plans that you have, new clients that you put in, kind of gives you details of how many reports you've ran and that kind of thing. But where I'm going to take you first, before I show you the actual plan, is I want to show you just a couple features in the teams and settings section of Level Up Score. And this is where you essentially are going to white label the plans. Okay. So the reason I'm going to take you here real fast is I just want you to see that I have this set up for a company called Credit Acorn just for demo purposes. Okay. That's another one of my credit repair companies. I have 3 credit repair companies at the current time, but this is like a DIY. So if you ever have questions about building a credit repair company, I'd be more than happy to help you. Okay, so if we go over to a plan, I'm just going to show you a plan right off the bat because I want to show you what this thing looks like. So we have a demo account here. Oh, I went to the wrong one. I'll go back. I'm going to put view and action plan. All right, so this is our demo account, Bobby Ketton. And I'm just going to review his plan and then I'm going to tell you how we got to this, okay? So what happens when we analyze a credit report, and we do read all credit monitoring sites so far. If there's one that we don't read, let us know because we will. So we reread Smart Credit, you know, My Free Score Now, 3 Scores, Array. There's a bunch of them, right? There's a bunch out there. We do read those also. It should accommodate anyone, no matter what platform you're using. And then we do have an integration with Dispute Fox to make this super easy for you to run reports. So we'll talk about that here in a second, but I really want to show you the nuts and bolts because this is the fun part, right? What happens when you put a client into our system? You create a goal for that client, and based off that goal, Level Up Score is essentially analyzing that credit report, and then it's spitting out the action plan for what that client needs to do to reach their goal. So for this particular person, the goal is to buy a house. It's letting us know there's 5 actions to take. This is the plan your client sees. Lets you know what the date was, who the advisor is, contact information. A lot of this is all customizable. Remember, this is white labeled, so no one's going to know that Level Up Score has their fingers on this. It's going to look like it's just all you, okay? But we scroll down, when we first pull in a credit report, we're going to see the credit scores. But if we were to pull in another one next month to see what they've accomplished, we would see the prior scores at the bottom and obviously a green or red arrow indicating how many points they may have improved, okay? But then we get to the action steps. So this person's goal, remember, it's to buy a house. So these plans are goal specific. They tell the client what to do based on their goal. So for purposes of this client, Level Up Score is looking at FICO 5, 4, and 2, that algorithm, to determine what action steps need to happen. So if you're working with a loan officer, they are going to love you to pieces if you can show them this plan. They're used to using a system called Wayfinder or Credit Expert. Some of you may have already know about that, but it's not as robust as Level Up Score for a couple reasons. It's just a simulator, number one. This is not a simulator. This is actually going off of the algorithm. But also, it doesn't provide action steps and the resources to do the action. And that's where Level Up Score really shines. So this thing is saying, action step number 1, we need you to open up a new line of credit card. Here's the credit card we want you to get, right? Now, keep in mind, this credit card is also got an affiliate link attached to it. So if the client chooses to do action step number 1, they click on that, they get that card, I get paid, right? So keep that in mind. And then action step number 2 is talking about paying down a credit card. So it's giving a recommendation of where it needs to be paid down to, what the goal is, what the current balance is, and how much they need to pay. Action step number 3 is just talking about their active card, keeping it active. Action 4 is talking about opening an installment account. This person has a very thin file, and when you want to buy a house, you have to have a more robust file. So if they open up this credit builder loan, again, another affiliate link, so I'm getting paid. So if this person so far were to do these 2 actions, I get paid $15 to $20 for this one. I get paid 12 something for this one. So I've made money off of this plan already, right? And then because they are buying a home, the plan always recommends a savings account because loan officers want to see that someone has a savings account. So as a former lender, I'm just kind of speaking on that. A loan officer is looking at the credit file to see if you qualify. The underwriter in the background is looking for kind of like a pros and cons to the file, right? So here's all the good stuff that's going on with the file. Here's all the bad stuff to determine an approval status. One of the next good things that it can add is having a savings account. Even if the person doesn't have a lot in it, it could be a big help. So we actually have an affiliate link for a savings account. That's one of the things I'll give you right now. If my client clicks on this and puts a dollar in it, I get paid $87.50. Okay, so the reason I'm sharing that with you is that the nice thing about Level Up Score is it creates a plan, which is the most important part. It's not going to recommend anything that it doesn't think the client needs, number one. But number two, when it does recommend something, it is giving them the resources to do it. And it just so happens you'll be an affiliate of those resources so you can make additional income. Okay. Then we can also customize the bottom where you can put your own resources. I've seen credit repair companies put resources like I have, just links to different resources. I've seen them do videos. I have one credit repair company, he's really big, but his resource page is probably 5 pages long. It's got a bunch of different things on there. And you would think that 5 pages sounds like, oh, that's too messy, but it actually is really pretty what he did. Anything that you customize in the resource section would be at the bottom of each and every one of your clients' plans, okay? Now, if I'm a hands-on credit repair company, I can also type in my own notes over here to this side. So I might say, great job, or I might say, you know, maybe there's a specific thing that I want them to do that's not on the plan, because maybe I know they're getting ready to go buy a car, right? So I might say something to them about that, or I know something about their life and I might type something like that. Whatever I type in this notes section, when I hit update on this sidebar, it'll create another action step. And so if I scroll down here, I'll see action step number 6, my notes. Okay, just to talk to the client and be a little bit more personal. A lot of credit repair companies are not so hands-on and they don't put extra notes in here, but if you are that type of credit repair company, you certainly can do that. The other thing I want you to pay attention to is over here on the left-hand sidebar, this is where you get to personally customize the plan. So maybe you don't want to offer high yield savings accounts. You can simply unclick that. If I unclick that section, then that's no longer on my plan. Okay. All right, so that's the action plan in of itself. I'm going to go to another one real fast, and then I'm going to show you some of the settings. So let's see if this one will show up here. This is my demo account. Okay, let's look at this one. John Smith. I'm going to show you a couple more details that I like to point out. Number one, you can download the plan and you can send it in any format that you want to your consumer. You can also email it from this platform. The nice thing about emailing it from this platform, it goes to them, to your client, to their email as you're sending it. And there's a link that just says your action plan is ready, click the link. Then they get in their own portal without having to log in. It's called a magic link. They will get to log in and they can see every action plan you ever created for them. And here very soon, they're going to have a sidebar similar to what you see for yourself as a credit repair company. But their sidebar, they're going to actually be able to talk to you. They'll be able to click on that they did this action and maybe say something to you that they want to tell you about it, right? So that's going to be very helpful if you're more of a hands-on credit repair company, that they can communicate with you in the action plan itself. So that's coming here soon. Right now, when they click in their link, they just see their action plans. Okay. So I want to point that out to you, but let's look at another person. This is John Smith. He has a different goal. His goal was great credit. So we're looking at FICO 8 algorithm with this one. There are 10 action steps for him to complete. Here's his credit scores. He's got action number 1, has another credit bill or credit card, right? Showing us what credit cards are active. And here's a really cool one. So now we're analyzing student loans. He has some student loans. His balance on these student loans are below the original loan amount, which is great. So we're just giving him a recommendation that he might want to get on the SAVE plan. Now that's that new Biden forgiveness plan, but it also is really great to help people lower their monthly payment for their student loans and get their student loans forgiven. If they click on this link, it actually takes them right to the SAVE program. It used to take them right into the application, but the SAVE program is under court issues right now. It's being sued by 2 different courts. So they have a little pause on it. Now it would take you to the paper application, but still a great thing for consumers to do. And then if we look at this one, this is even more interesting. So now we have some federal loans, and these student loans have a balance over the original loan amount. So what that's doing is it's actually pulling their score down. So if they make these little payments, on these student loans, they'll see a nice big increase to their credit score. So I'm gonna tell you a story about this because I think this is really fabulous, especially if we're trying to like pick up scores real fast for even like a mortgage. It's a quick story. I had a client working credit for him. He literally did everything I asked him to do. He had a plan similar to this. I've been doing this for 21 years, so this was back before software, right? There wasn't many softwares out there at all. So you hand typed everything. So I'd hand type his plan, it looks similar to this. And I was like, okay, you need to pay, you know, $1, or I would tell him $5 on each of his student loans. And he refused to because he was on an income-based repayment plan, $0 a month. He didn't need to make a payment. But because he hadn't made a payment since the time he got out of school, even though we saw the student loan on his credit report, it was not positively helping his credit. So even though it said it was open for many years, there was no history there. So as soon as he made that $5 payment, his score jumped. But the first part of the story is that I told him all these things to do and he did everything. He was 6 points away from getting his mortgage loan, calls me up. He's a little mad and perturbed. You know how they get. And he said, Allie, I did everything you asked me to do and I still need 6 points. And I said, yes, sir, you did. But the only thing you refused to do is make a $5 payment on your student loan. And if you do that, I promise you, you'll be able to buy. So he does that. 30 days later, it shows up, it jumped his score 60 points by making a $5 payment. Okay. So I think a lot of people will disregard student loans, not thinking of how big of an impact they have on the credit score. So this is one feature I really love about Level Up Score, that it does do that. But let's say their student loan balance is way over. Maybe let's say this said 19, or let's say it said $9,000 over. We're not going to ask the client to pay $9,000, but that may be an opportunity where they should click on this and walk through to do a consolidation. So you have that option. That's just something neat that's added in here. Derogatory accounts, this wording here can be changed and customized depending on how you want to talk about that. It does list the derogatory accounts that you're working on as a credit repair expert. And then of course, notes that you might put in there. And then we're looking at those resources that we talked about before that you can customize in there. Okay. All right. So now I showed you the plan. I'm going to show you teams and settings over here with how you can white label. So a couple little details I want you to see is you put your organization name in here, your logo, your hex color. That makes all of those colors that you saw on the plan, right? If you do have a white label of either of these two credit monitorings, you would put that information in there. Otherwise, these are left blank. Action plan settings, I scroll down a little bit too fast. You have where you can put your shared email, your shared phone number that you want your consumers to know. But this is over here on this side is pretty exciting. A lot of people ask me about this. These are all those places that you can customize for your action plan. But if you have a Spanish audience, we also do this whole thing in Spanish, which is really cool. So you can do English or Spanish. And then on this sidebar, we do have automations. So you can have Level Up Score automatically generate the action plan each month for you. You would get an email if you clicked on this. And when you got that email, it would tell you you have so many reports to review. And then if you're hands-on, you can come in and do your little customizations in the notes section of the plan. If you're less hands-on, like myself, then I would automate my plans and I would auto deliver them. This is especially true if you have a DIY type setup. So then it automatically generates a report and it automatically delivers it to the consumer. So I'm really hands-off. If you ever hear me talk, you will hear me say automate, 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 and then delegate, right? Or get some outsourcing. So I really highly believe that. And then here's where you put some affiliate links that you have so that those go into the plan once you've created the plan, and that's where you would get paid. Anytime you update any settings here, you always want to hit update. Over here, I want you to know that there's a user tab. You can have as many users on Level Up Score in your organization as you absolutely want. So this is where you put that information. If I edit this, I can put their avatar in there, like their picture, right? And then I can say what role they have, whether they're an admin role or they're just a user. Integration. So we have a dispute box. So all you would do is come over here, click on that. You have an API key that you would input in this section here. Once you do that, now we're linked. So when you go into Dispute Fox and you say client, you make that person a client, their information automatically goes into Level Up Score. So you won't have to go to add new client button, because Dispute Box will have already done all of this hard work for you. Okay. Even the goal will default to great credit. So you might come in here and change the goal if you want to, or change the language, but it'll even put all the credit monitoring information in here. So once it's done, if you have those automations on in Teams and Settings, then you do not need to even come back into Level Up Score unless you want to do some different customization in your action plan. So that's really nice. It's one of our better integrations, because we can get so much without you having to do anything except for make that person a client in Dispute Box. Okay. Trying to think if there's anything else that I really want to point out to you. I think what I'm going to do, Tanika, if you want to kind of talk a little bit maybe about how you use Level Up Score yourself.
Yeah, so I just started using it about like 2 weeks or so. So for now, I do it, and this may change, but right now I am doing it with in conjunction with my consultations, but I may switch it and just maybe save it for my clients. But right now I'm doing it for both. So I do use it for my consultations. I have been sending it to folks just because I want to get a good feel for it. I also use it, I stated, with my monthly progress reports. So you guys know the 3 5, we get monthly progress reports generated every time we refresh the client's credit report. What I'm most excited about is being able to do this on the go. For folks that hear me speak a lot, you guys know that I'm very, organic when it comes to my marketing. I do a lot of webinars and partnerships with affiliates. So I'm most excited about being able to now do, pitch myself to my affiliates, to get me in the door with their webinars and home buyers workshops, and being able to deliver action plans to their clients or people that show up to those things right there on the spot. I've already reiterated in my brain how I'm gonna do that. Give me a tablet, all of that. Have fully right there. I'm doing that, signing up with my Score IQ link. So I'm already going to be getting paid for that, because they still have to pull their credit report to get this before, so that's like just double, affiliate pay there. I'm probably going to also use this because I do table events as well. So I'm looking at tabling events. And I was always looking at too. It's so funny that I see folks in the chat saying, oh, I was thinking about ways to do this for my clients. Well, one, I was never going to type up a action plan by hand. I was never going to do that. But I was looking at a way to like engage folks. Just think of like when we go to health fairs and things of that nature. Like they always have like an activity or a game or something at the table. And I'm like, but I really love the idea to be able to engage folks and really give them this, at my webinars, at my health fairs, my back to school. I do a lot of back to school fairs. This past summer was the only summer that I had not done any. And I see the questions in the chat, so I'm gonna let her go through. But real quick, I will just answer this one since I'm talking about how I use it. Right now, this does not integrate with Score Fusion. And that's because Score Fusion, talking to Derek, he says Score Fusion is completely in-house. So that's something that they build internally. However, he did not rule out the possibility that when the client-facing version is available, that it would be able to integrate with this. But right now, because the internal version is really internal, it's really just for us, they're still testing it out. As you guys know, they're still kind of working out the kinks and bugs. So right now, you would not be able to integrate it with Score Fusion. But you'll still be able to use it, with your older clients anyway. Because if you're thinking about Score Fusion, as you already know, like right now, we can't even use Score Fusion for our older clients anyway, right? So if you have folks still coming to you doing trials or doing things with Small Credit or My Score IQ or whatever that software may be for that credit monitoring, you can still use it to generate this report and then just switch to Score Fusion at a later date. I know for me personally, right now, I'm not even using Score Fusion anyway, because I'm waiting for them to offer the ability to sponsor, because I actually sponsor my clients.
Yeah. And that's a good point because we don't do score fusion right now. And I think that's something that possibly can come here, hopefully sooner rather than later, that we can do that. But I think because it's a homegrown application, it's not going to be like all the other people are using a white label of one of them. Sorry, I don't know what just happened. My phone just started playing music. A lot of the other companies are using a white label of a credit monitoring, so it's easy for us to be able to read a lot of different credit monitorings out there. But this is a little bit different. So hopefully we'll come to that here very soon. And I'm sure you can help me make that link and make that connection so we can do that. But I love what you said about because I have another client that uses this. I can tell you guys all kinds of different ways that you can use it, but I think, in the chat, you guys were talking about how you used to hand type these things, and I did too, right? Because we always want to give our clients value. But then the problem on top of that is I was hand typing it back in the past, and I would say, I need you to get a credit card, but then I didn't give the action or the resource to get the credit card, right? So the nice thing about Level Up Score is it's learning constantly. So it's offering the right credit card that they would get approved for and things like that. So it's really nice. And then we're not having them get something that, go apply for a bunch of cards. I remember back in the day, my clients would come back to me and like, I applied for 10 different cards and got denied for all 10. I'm like, oh shoot, I just dropped their score 30 points, right? Right. So, but I do see a lot of clients or credit repair companies are using it for, like, one particular girl was really great. She was doing kind of what you were talking about, where you go to home buyer education places and stuff, and she would teach these classes, but then she wouldn't be able to leave them with anything. And so she would walk out and that was it. They got the class. So she went to those organizations and she said, hey, I'm going to come in for now on, and I'm going to give them a trial link to my score IQ, right? So if you guys have that trial link, you're getting paid $25, even though the client's paying the dollar trial, whether they keep it or not, right? And so you can use that to then create this plan and then be able to offer that to those people. So I see a lot of people do that. I have one credit repair company. She actually doesn't call herself a credit repair company. She does a free consultation with the My Score IQ link. And then she generates this plan for them on the consultation. So these are her talking points. And then if they want the plan in writing and an email to them, because you know how people will say, can you put all this in writing for me? She'll say $99. And she charges $99 for the plan. So I have another credit repair company. He gives it to his loan clients. So loan officers will call him to create a plan like this, and he sells it to the loan clients for $99. So there's all kinds of ways that you can use it. Personally, I think I do a kind of a combination of it on my credit repair company. We do the My Score IQ $1 trial link. We create this plan. We also run it through and get our audit report. So I really love the audit report. I send it to the consumer, and that's the report. I call it the report that tells the consumer they have a problem, right? And then Level Up Score is the solution. So what I do personally is I run the audit report and I run the credit action plan through Level Up Score. And I do a Loom video to the consumer, and I show them the audit and talk to them about the problem, point out the pain points, point out what they told me their goal is, because I have them fill out a questionnaire. And then I show them the action plan. I kind of go through it really fast on the video so they can't just copy and paste it, everything. And so I basically telling them, I have a plan for you. These are the things that we're going to do. And then I send them a link to pay me. So, we got a lot of people coming out asking about, how do you get paid as a credit repair company without talking to people on the phone? I solved that for my company. We don't talk to the people on the phone until they get the video consultation review. They click on that they want to get started. But it's worked out fabulous for me. But the nice thing is whether they get started or not, I did get paid $25 because we did do the My Score IQ link, and whether they keep that or not. So I feel like, because somebody was asking me, well, if I create this Level Up Score plan, it's going to charge me a fee to create the report. But this is how you sell your service too. And if you're not sure, like, I don't analyze a credit report anymore. I don't need to. I got the audit that tells me the problem. I run Level Up Score. It tells me the solution. This is all I need to talk to them about, right? I leave it to my dispute team to analyze the credit report for the dispute process, if that makes sense.
And not only that too, I'm gonna let you talk on price, but the price that is per report, if you're doing a high end affiliate link like a $25, you still have more than a $20 profit anyway, for generating that when I did the math. Now, quick question before we go to audience, because you did say I've been using it. So I'm the automation queen. I do a lot of automations in my dispute fox. So the question that I have, particularly with a software like Dispute Fox, because I know a lot of folks will probably want to ask this. For Dispute Fox, when you turn folks into a client, even if you don't have custom automations, when you set them up as a client in Dispute Fox, it automatically triggers a bunch of automations that Dispute Fox already has in there. So they automatically get like a portal login and all this type of stuff, which is something that they don't need if this is just technically a lead and we're just having that initial conversation. So the question that I have with the integration, do you think it's possible at some point to be able to read it where this can be, like when the lead comes in,
Yeah.
it could be the same thing versus the client? Because for me, like if I use this for consultations, that's
Uh-huh.
me gonna have to go in and then reconfigure my automation.
Yeah, yeah. So that's actually a great takeaway because, yeah, right now with the integration for us to grab everything out of Dispute Box, we're using the key that it's a client, right? But I can see, obviously, if you're using it for the consultation like I do, you may want that automation to happen even before, and that those results get sent to Level Up Scoring before they're necessarily a client. And I don't see that being a bad thing. My only concern is if you have their credentials and you're automating everything, but they didn't pay you, do you want them to have a plan every time? I think maybe that's something that can be customized per credit repair company on how they want to do it. But I'm going to write that down because I need to talk to them about how we can make that happen as even a lead.
Oh yeah, I see what you mean. Like if they're automating stuff in your level up score, because you have the option to automate the report. Yeah, I actually clicked that off because I'm a small company, so I'm probably will be that person to go in and write notes. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. I just I thought about it when I initially was trying it out. But I just kind of rethought about it again. And I know when folks watch the call, I know they're gonna probably ask that because the Three Fox is great, it's a blessing, but I'm pretty sure folks don't want to have leads to have portal access.
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, that'd
Because
be
also in there, they have their resources, so if they get portal access, they'll be able to see all their free resources for clients, and then it just may be like a little confusion, like, oh, what do you mean, welcome, I'm a client? Like, what are you talking about? You know,
yeah, let's talk through that for a second. What if with Level Up Score, just talking about Dispute Fox and specifically, if when you make them a lead in the system, that Level Up Score automatically gets the client's details, but doesn't run the report unless you click on Level Up Score to run the report.
that sounds great. Yeah.
It'll
Mhm.
put the details in there so you're not having to retype it. I mean, for me,
That-
automation is important. I don't want to retype anything, right? That'd be the
yeah,
goal.
and that's half the battle is like moving all that stuff over. So even if the integration was moving the leads over, that would still be helpful because it's saving the login and it's also saving their passwords and all of that. And then folks can, at the same time, we're running a credit audit, we can also come over here and then run their action plan and
Yeah.
go over, yeah, during the call.
The nice thing is we do have a nice integration with Dispute Fox, but with some of the software companies, we do have a what I call direct integration. So it might be something that we can talk with Dispute Fox about where you would be inside of Dispute Fox and you can click create Level Up Score plan, create action plan. Opposed, then you can do that with any and all of your clients, whether they're a client or a lead. So that might be a good thing too, is to have what we call direct integration. So that might be something to talk about with those developers and see what we can do. That's a great question.
It should be open, so, I mean, they put stuff in there for Prodigy that hardly no one's using right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll see. Yeah, let me know. Like, I'm happy to like do a group email or whatever as well. But I think it'd be helpful.
Well, I think you know the audience of Dispute Fox, so you're going to get the questions and things like that. So if we see that that's something that, we have a lot of people that want, then this is something we should be creating, right? To make everybody's life easier. Um,
Yeah.
do you want to open the floor for questions? Are we ready for that?
We can go over the questions. I don't know if you want to go over because the first question you probably going to get is cost.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
let's go over that real fast. That's a great question, actually. So we are just one cost. So if you go to billing and settings here, I'm going to see if it'll let me do it since I'm in demo account. Oh, it is. Okay. So when you come in, you would have a free account. Okay. If you decided, hey, this is something that's really working for my company, I see a need for this, you can choose to now go upgrade your account to a pro account. So we don't have any fee for users. You can have unlimited users, unlimited clients, unlimited reports. There's no upgrade fee for any of that stuff. But what we do is we charge $3 for a report. So if you got started today, you ran a client through as a paid CRO, you're going to pay $3 for that plan. Okay. We do have a minimum fee of $30 to have a white label with us, but that $30 does include the 10 reports. So it's just that we have a set fee that at least we charge $30 to have the white label. But then, let's say you have 11 clients, you're going to pay $33. Does that make sense? So it's just $3 per report with a minimum of $30. So I have to ask you guys, did I say that to where it made sense? Sometimes I feel like people get confused when I say that.
yes, and I'll reiterate it. So basically, it's a $30 minimum, period, every month. Whether you want one report or two reports or three reports, you have a $30 minimum. If you go above that, then you'll be charged the additional, but it's going to be your $30 minimum at $3 per report. Okay, so if you're doing for consultations, for leads, if you're doing a $25 affiliate kickback, that's still leaving you what, $21, $22 in profit. So, the report is kind of paying for itself, and you probably will still get a sale when they see how long that action list is they have to do.
And we do have demo calls every Monday and Wednesday. You guys are more than welcome to get on those calls. The reason I shouldn't even call them demo calls anymore, because a lot of times the users of Level Up Score are on those calls, and we really have a really great time just chatting about how different people are using the software and making money off of it. But I love what you just said about, yes, the reports cost $3, but they should be helping you sell your service. And we had one credit repair company on our call a couple weeks ago, and he said, Allie, my company has tripled in size because I have a Level Up Score, because when I showed it to loan officers, they started sending me all their business. So if you're familiar with loan officers and you're working with them, which is a really lucrative way to do your business, they really don't like disputes. So you may have heard loan officers say, I don't want to work with you. You guys do disputes. We don't like disputes. They really don't like disputes, but they really love Level Up Score action plans. So as a former loan officer and loan officer now, I will say that I do disputes and I like disputes. I have to educate my loan officers on it, but really they're coming to me for the plan, right? Right now, this is where it becomes really big for you as a credit repair company. I talked to you about Wayfinder and Credit Expert, right? So my understanding recently is that the big banks who paid for that service for their loan officers are no longer going to pay for that service. So they don't want to pocket that service anymore. So they're letting loan officers sign up for those services themselves. And one of my broker friends told me she has to pay $14 for the Wayfinder report. So she's not buying them anymore. So you have a plan at your disposal with Level Up Score that is way cheaper and way better than the Wayfinder and Credit Expert plan. So you can really capitalize on that market, because these loan officers are addicted to Wayfinder and Credit Expert. They're addicted to it. They love it. They use that to help them generate more loan deals, because they could tell a client, do these little things and then come back to me, we'll do a loan. you guys now have that at your disposal to offer that same service to them. And you're paying $3 for it to get that business from them, right? I'm telling you, this is like the new sauce if you want to get in with loan officers, because they are not going to pay the $14 for that plan any longer. Because you have to keep in mind, they were getting those plans for free. Now they're having to pay for them, and they're paying for something before they even get a loan deal. They don't like to do that, right? Does that make sense? So I think you guys have a really good spot right now if you start targeting them and changing that goal to buy a home so that you get that FICO 542 algorithm.
Right. And what's the name of the previous software they were using again?
Mortgage loan officers use a company called Wayfinder, also known as Credit Expert. Essentially, it's a simulator, and it's not real good. It'll even sometimes tell people to do things that they shouldn't do, which would actually drop their score. I've seen that, but it also sometimes will give the loan officer a reply back and says, basically, I'm exaggerating here, but it'll say there's no hope for this person. And that's not true. We know that as credit experts that someone can have a score down the dumps and we can help them, right? But sometimes they get a result that there's no help for them.
Okay.
Hey, Jennifer's on here. Hi, Jennifer. I can't see everybody that's on, so I just noticed a name that I recognized from earlier today. Any other questions for me?
Yes, anyone has questions, just come off and mute. And if no one has questions.
I signed up.
Good job.
What was your
So I have a question. Now, how did you spell Wayfinder? Is that Wavefinder? Wayfinder?
Wayfinder, just what you typed in chat. Wayfinder.
Okay. Good. I'm ready to pitch. Yeah. This is awesome. I love it.
It'll be fun. And like I said, if you guys are not marketing to loan officers, they need you really, really bad right now. Their market is down. Hopefully it's starting to come back because rates are starting to go down. So they need that help, and they're not going to pay for Wayfinder and Credit Expert anymore. And you have the solution, especially if you can offer their clients a $1 trial to be able to offer this, right? You guys are just going to be in a really good place for your business. Okay. But there's all kinds of ways to use it. That's just one example that I just hope everyone really capitalize on, because it is such a needed part in what's happening right now with the lenders. Okay. Someone had asked a question here about, I believe it was about business funding. Oh, I think it was you.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Do you have clients doing business funding too?
Yeah, I'm a business purpose loan broker as well. So yeah, a lot of my clients have to PG, they have to, use their credit. And of course, a lot of them are denied, and I have to go through their credit report and tell them what they need to work on, because some will qualify, but with conditions, meaning they have to bring down their balance under 40% and things like that. And I have to write that out, or I have to tell them. But with this would be so much helpful for me, because it basically lays it out. I just tried, I just tested one out, and it was I love it. So yeah, this is perfect.
I wanted to come to your question on that come to your comment about that, because one of the things that I'm working on right now is an actual goal that would be business funding. So while you're using it, if you see anything that hey, something else that I really like my clients to have, inquiries, for instance, we don't want inquiries on, so we can utilize in the inquiries, right?
Yeah.
So if there's something, because that is not my specialty.
Okay.
Working with a bunch of different people to create that algorithm. Have anything that you're looking at, you would be an immense help to creating that goal.
Of course. Yes. You know what? Maybe I can leave something with you now. Maybe because if we're trying to go for business credit cards, sometimes they have to try back another year because they have too many recent open accounts, or too many either too many inquiries, too many recent open accounts, and they will have to wait. So that would probably be good. I'm not sure. You will figure that part out.
I think that makes sense to say. Maybe there's also a notation if they haven't done that, not to do that, right?
Exactly. There we go. And then another thing too is, oh, they need to have comparable credit, meaning like they have to have a credit, or I would say a trade line with a $5,000 limit or more. So maybe working on strategies on increasing that line of credit with a premium bank. So that way they will look more attractive on the business side. So that is something too that I have to explain to them, that they have to work on within that year. So that way they can be in a better position, when they come back around for funding.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing I can think of.
Awesome.
Yeah. Hmm.
So I've also created what I call credibility fundability.
Oh, I like that.
Outlines like what business credit stuff wants. So thinking about incorporating that type of thing where basically they would check out if they've done the things, and if they didn't, then the credit repair company who's doing the business funding can walk them through and obviously charge them a fee to do said item. Maybe that's
That would be good too.
correctly or whatever that might be. So,
Yeah,
okay.
that would
Awesome.
be good.
Very
Yep,
much feedback. I appreciate it.
you're welcome.
Now, I tried to scan through all of the chats. So if I did not see your question and you had a question, please ask me. I think the one, oh, okay. Someone had a question about the My Score IQ. Yes, so My Score IQ does require, and this is also Identity IQ, both of them require the last four of the social. That's your secret key or whatever that's called in Level Up Score. Let me go to settings here. Oh no, I want to go to a client and edit. New client. So if I go into here, this where it says answer to security question.
Yeah, on
Yeah.
the phone, because I was on my mobile phone, filling it out, and it didn't have that option in the mobile phone.
No, I didn't. Okay.
No.
Thank you for that.
When I logged on to the computer, I saw everything. Like the only thing that it showed on a mobile phone was the choice of credit monitoring, the username and the password, and that was it.
Okay.
And then it says test the client's credentials, and yeah, it didn't go through any. And this was part of the step 1, step 2, step 3 to 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it was in that section there. Yeah.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
That's a great question here. So on here, like if you're using anything else like Smart Credit, My Score, or excuse me, yeah, My Free Score Now, any array products, that type of thing, you won't have to fill anything out in here. This is just for My Score IQ and Identity IQ. I believe are the only two that require that security question. So when just to give you kind of an example of how I do my business, because I did transition from a call consultation to what I call video consultation. So most of my clients come to me by referrals, obviously loan officers and real estate agents, because that's where I've been my last 21 years. But they will send me the referral link, and then I send back a message. It's automated, guess what? And it basically says, hey, to prepare for our meeting, here are some things I need you to do. And I have them click on create a My Score IQ, My Score IQ account with the dollar trial link. And then I have them fill out a questionnaire, and the questionnaire goes into my CRM system that I use. And the questionnaire is basically give me your credentials to My Score IQ, and then I ask them 2 questions because I want it to be very, very easy. But one question is, what is your goal? And then the second question is there anything that you need to tell me or any pain points that I need to know for you? Okay. And then I get an automated message that that's been filled out. I take those credentials, I run it through Level Up Score. I run it through my dispute software. So I got my audit report. And then I open up Loom and I do a video and I talk about all the pain points. And as I'm talking about them, I'm talking about what their goal is and how I know they want to reach it. And, if they tell me a time frame of when they want to reach it, like I reiterate everything they want in life and how far away they are from it. Or if they're close, I tell them that too. And then I go into, here's the solution, I have it for you. And I really scan through that part pretty fast because obviously I want them to pay me to get the solution, right? But I want them to see that I have a really beautiful action plan that they're going to get with all the nuts and bolts right away. So it's not like a credit repair company who tells you, I'm going to do all this stuff in the background, and the consumer has no idea of what they need to do. And they don't feel like they're in control. So they know that they're going to be partly in control of this process and accountable themselves, right? So I think that's important. But I do that, and then I send them the link with a link to pay me. And I thought that people wouldn't do it. I thought they really needed to talk to me. But when I do the Loom, I have my picture right at the bottom. They see me talking. It builds trust. They know I know what I'm talking about, right? I'm showing them on paper in front of them in this video. And the responses I get back from that, guys, is amazing. People will say to me, first of all, I want you to know that you got my goal dead on. And I kind of laugh when I get that because they told me. And I just kept reiterating it in the video, right? Which they like. They like that they feel like they've been heard. And they pay me. And I haven't talked to them yet in person. So if you call me, the same kind of process, I'm going to get your email, you're going to get that email, and it goes that way. It saves me a lot of time. I know you guys, if you're talking to people on the phone, I know those calls can drag on because they're telling you their whole life story, right? When I would like to know that information, and I would like to know the details on the credit report so I can do the best job possible. But I don't need to know all of that to know that I can do the job. So I'm going to show in the video I can do the job. And then once they pay me, we can get on a call and go through the intricate details, right, of what they need. And, if they've had identity theft or whatever else they want to tell me about their credit. So I don't know if that helps you guys, but that's been a true blessing to my business. So now I'm compliant, right? With TRS, I'm compliant. I feel good about it, but it did not disturb my bottom line. So if that gives you guys any hope in this whole issue with compliance. Yes. Okay, I'm just going to go through these chat here and see if there's any other questions, or if there's anything you guys want me to show you or share with you, please let me know.
One thing, because I was on my phone when I signed up, and I'm on Zoom, but I ended up typing the address on my desktop. Can you give Resource Queen my commission, or the commission, because I didn't sign up. I just typed the address in the browser, but I didn't.
Absolutely. Yes.
Okay.
I sure will. Thank you for letting us know. Super sweet. Trying to think if there's anything else I can share with you guys. I know we're coming to the end, so please ask me any questions. I'm always available to. I gave you guys my email address in the chat, so please feel free to call, text or email me. Email me with questions. I can also send you the links to the other demo calls that I do each week, so you can join those and hear from other people that are using it.
Oh, question. So I'm in the section, the teams and settings section, and I do see the configuring messages, and it has English and Spanish. How do, like, say for instance, I have a Spanish client. How do I send this configuring message in Spanish? Like, how does it know to send in Spanish? Is there a way
A great question. So if I go into my clients, my client, I can pick right here what language I want their action plan to be in.
Oh, okay. Oh, I see it. Okay.
Yeah. And I have to do that. I have, Florida, right?
Yep.
A lot of Spanish here, so I do have to toggle between the two. I have some credit repair companies that only do Spanish, so we are creating a default where they can just make that their default, because right now the default is English. This is also the default, but we're going to make an integration where if you wanted Buy a House to be the default, then you can have that change.
Oh, okay.
On that, yeah. And then, for you might have a default that it's business. Otherwise, that's where you have to be a little bit more hands-on with your clients if you're specializing in a certain field, right? Kind of across the board for everybody, but Buy a House is going to be different. Buy a car, of course, when we have the business funding, that's going to be completely different. So you would want to come in here and change that. And of course, if you need to change the language, that's a great question.
Okay. Oh, and primary goal, start a business. That should be one.
That should be one. I like that.
And is by any chance, can you add Creole as a language? Because I do have a lot of Haitian clients too.
We are looking at possibly making it where it can be in any language.
Oh, okay.
Using Chat GPT, right, that we have at our disposal.
Right. Yeah. I
So
have to
think
see.
about that.
Yes.
It's definitely beneficial.
Yeah.
More languages. Okay, great feedback. I appreciate that.
We're getting ready to come up on time, and I still wanted, just for the sake of the video, I want to just go in and show folks where they will go in if they sign up with the link, where they will go into the SpeedFox and pull the API key.
Okay, good, good. And
Um,
do you know where that is? Oh, you probably
Yeah.
do. You set up
Of
so
course.
you can.
I'm just gonna mute myself. You guys could keep chatting. I'm gonna log into my demo account and then I'll share my screen. So if any folks have any other questions, feel free, to drop your email and contact information in the chat too. So at least the folks.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you wasted no time. As soon as I seen you logged in, I would say, I know she's gonna get it.
Listen, I already turned on my Dispute Fox integration on. I'm ready.
So it must be easy to find that API. Okay. Wonderful. And I think you're going to give us a demo of that, right? Tanika?
Yeah, she's gonna get that.
I'm logging into my account now. I have a demo account, so I'm ready to share my screen. I just wanted to log in. Okay. All right, you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the demo account. So pretty much for folks who's watching at home, you want to just come into your settings. Once you're logged in, you come to your settings, come over to email, SMS, Zapier.
I don't think it's showing us that part unless it's just me. I'm just seeing the top of your dashboard.
Let's
Yeah,
see.
same here. I only see the top.
Let me stop it. So let's share again. You know what it is? I got 1,000 things open. So let me see. Yeah, which is weird. Why don't we?
Question in the chat about the demo account. So the demo account with Level Up Score, when you click on that and you sign up, that's just your free account to play in there to see how it works for you. So you can add a client in there and you can run the report and see what the report comes up for you. And then you can go from there if you want to do the paid plan and upgrade to the paid plan. Hopefully that answers your question. So yes, you can go in and do that like right now. You can click on the link to go there. At the top of the chat is the link that is provided to you where you click on to set up your demo account. I think I answered your question. If I didn't, let me know. The other part of that question might be, we do have live demo calls where we go over Level Up Score, answer questions. A lot of times users of Level Up Score on those calls to talk about how they're using it. And we just usually have a really good time. So you're welcome to do that too.
So I'm gonna try this again, guys. So let me. Okay, this is it. So don't judge me. I have 1,000 windows open. That's probably why. All right, can you guys see? You can see my screen now, right?
Take that away from me. I don't know why my phone keeps playing music. I don't know if someone else is turning on music under me or what's going on.
There are. So can you guys see the screen now? You can see the whole
Yes.
dashboard, right? Okay. So I just want to show this on the call so that folks watch this playback in the group. On YouTube, you'll know where to come to for the folks who are still learning the software. So just come over once you log in, come over to settings. Okay, and then you're gonna come down to email, SMS, Zapier. And then you're gonna come over to your Zapier configuration tab. And this is, of course, this would be but I'm gonna generate the key. I'm saying, of course, I don't have an API key generated because this is a demo account, but see how I just did that? If you do have a new SpeedFox account, just click the generate your API key, and then you would copy this API key and then bring it over to your level up score. If you already have your API key generated, just copy it and then place it into level up score where we just showed you where it would go in there to have that integration so that you don't have to manually type things in. Okay. That easy. Settings, email, Zapier. Come over to the Zapier tab, click copy key or generate key if you haven't done it already. Okay.
And I was asked about the live demos, so I'm going to put in chat the links for the live demos. So give me just 1 second. I do one Monday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and I also do one on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Grabbing that, so I can put in chat. All right, there's those demo links for anybody that needs them. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you having me here today. I'm always at your disposal. If you have any questions, you need any help in any way, shape, or form. I have been in this business for 21 years, so I know the good and the bad. If you want to know, I can tell you where I failed and where I succeeded. But hopefully you guys get a chance to get your demo account with Level Up Score and ask me any questions, get on the live demos. Be more than happy to help you. And Tanika, thank you for having me tonight. I appreciate you. Oh, you're on mute.
Yes, thank you for coming in and joining and participating and doing this for the group. For folks who are listening, don't worry. I know you're not getting none of these links. I'll make sure when we repost the video that those links are posted in the comments or somewhere so that you guys can have access to it. All right. Make sure you guys sign up. Like you can see, like this is awesome. Like I love it. This is brilliant. Like thank you for this. Make my job a lot easier.
Yeah, my job too.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually use the software, just so you guys know, I tested out for 5 years before I offered it out to everybody. So
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice. Nice.
All right. Well,
Well, if nothing else, guys, we're gonna let you go and I will see you around. Bye-bye.
thank you. Bye.